Slipknot, the band, is suing some anonymous dude online who owns an IP address, which is causing them issues. The dude was smart enough to come up with buying the domain name for it before they did as a band, right? So my thoughts on this is that, and I've told this to everybody who I talk to about domain names, about registering your trademark for your comic books, and like your website and stuff like that. So whenever I come up with something, um, I check, right? I do a Google search, everything to see if that name exists. Um, you know, um, for my comic book or my character or whatever, just to make sure. And this is like, the last, I guess, 5 years since I've come back, or 7 years, whatever. I think, can't even remember how long I've been back into comics after my long time with the head injury away from it all. So you got to understand that you have to think smart. And I always talk about how creative people, especially in comics, indie comics, are not smart. Listen, sometimes you might not have the money to do that. Beg, steal, borrow. Not steal, but beg, right? Beg someone to get the money for you to do that. Hey, look, I gotta buy this, register this domain name. Can you please give me some money to do that? I'll pay you back. I'll pay you back in art or whatever, right? I just need it right now. I met a boo-boo a couple of months back with Alwan, and that ended up like with one of my IPs for a domain name, and I forgot to renew it, and by the time I got to it, and I stuffed up, and I lost the IP, so I had to change the IP. So I did, but it's cool, it works for us. But it just meant like I had a domain name that was working for us really well, but I lost it. But it's all good. We changed everything. But listen, if you're in creativity, music, whatever arts, look after yourself. With your intellectual property. Don't just think that just because you haven't registered it, somebody else won't do it before you. If Like I always tell people, like if you're writing a script, put it into envelopes, send it back to yourself, so it's time, date, stamped, that it's your script, right? Whatever you're creating, protect yourself, trademark it. That's why, like, whenever I come up with a name, I always put a TM behind it. You know, trading ads, right? Until I'm able to whatever, right? But but because I'm with the publisher, most of my stuff is protected anyway. But I still like to be sure of protecting my own self. So yeah, protect yourself.